Since the leaks for Fortnite Chapter 4 have basically been coming out non-stop, Epic Games finally decided to just reveal it. But first, time is quickly running out here in Fortnite Chapter 3, with Chapter 4 only being a few days away, meaning our next Battle Pass is right around the corner as well. I'll be hooking up a bunch of people who hit the thumbs up button on this video with the Chapter 4 Battle Pass. Once you hit it, make sure you leave a comment down below with your Epic ID. The end of Chapter 3 Fracture event continues to get closer and closer. So many Chapter 4 leaks have continued to come out, so many that Epic Games just decided to reveal Chapter 4 early. But first, look how close we are to 4.32 million subscribers. We couldn't be any closer. It truly would mean the world to me if you could hit that subscribe button and be my 4,320,000 subscriber. Last video, I asked you guys to name this emote, and there's a bunch of people on the screen right now who got it right. For this video, we have a new emote. If you know the name of this, make sure to leave it down below in the comments. We've wasted too much time. Fortnite Chapter 4 has been revealed by Epic Games. We have a lot to talk about. Let's get into it. Now, before we break down the Chapter 4 reveal event, the way Chapter 4 will begin is with the Fracture live event, which is basically all a result of the Herald's action this season. She has continued to drain the 0 points energy to where it basically has none left, while at the same time slowly covering more and more of the map in that mysterious chrome substance, all in an attempt to not only bring us into something known as the Nothing, but also end our reality and every other reality for good. And if all of that goes to plan, that means Fortnite would essentially be over. But don't worry, that won't be happening, because thankfully the Paradigm, who was revealed to be Brie Larson earlier this season, actually has a plan. But the plan doesn't involve saving our current reality, but instead travel to a brand new reality by entering into the 0 point, exactly like we saw the Paradigm do in the season 4 trailer. And here's where things get interesting. So typically, whenever a character enters the 0 point, they'll enter the Fortnite loop as a brand new snapshot, which is essentially how we got all of the different Agent Joan jump styles back in Chapter 2 Season 6. Meaning normally when you enter the 0 point, it doesn't actually bring you to a new reality at all, and instead just creates a new snapshot of you inside of the loop. Thankfully, as I'm sure we're all aware by now, the Paradigm actually has a plan that has to do with something known as the Loop Breaker Project. At first, we didn't know much about it all, other than the project was actually designed by Midas, all the way back during the Device event in Chapter 2 Season 2. Now we know that the Loop Breaker Project essentially changes the 0 point, so whenever you enter it, instead of entering the loop as a brand new snapshot, it'll actually break the loop as the name implies, transporting us to an entirely new reality. Now, doing this to the 0 point actually brings it into something referred to as zero fusion. And think of zero fusion like this. You know how the 0 point has a bunch of different energy waves coming off of it in every direction? Well, imagine each one of those waves actually representing a different reality inside of Fortnite. Zero fusion is essentially the combination of every single one of those realities at the exact same moment. And zero fusion isn't a new idea in Fortnite at all. The concept was actually introduced for the very first time after the first Black Hole event in Chapter 2 Season 1. We received 2 skins, one of them being the Zero skin, which was essentially the 0 point as a skin, and the other skin being in the Chapter 2 Season 1 Battle Pass, known as Fusion. Now, things get interesting when you look at the description of the Zero skin, where it actually says everything and nothing. Now, when it says nothing, it's essentially referring to the complete destruction of our reality, and where it says everything, it's actually referring to the Zero Fusion, where we should essentially see every different reality that exists in Fortnite simultaneously. And then next, we have the Fusion skin, where the description literally says merged into one, which will essentially be the new reality we arrive in for Chapter 4. It's essentially a combination of every single reality we've ever experienced. Don't worry, we're just about to showcase the Chapter 4 reveal event. But first, currently, the 0 point doesn't have enough energy to fully enter Zero Fusion, all thanks to the Herald draining its energy throughout the duration of this season. So at the beginning of the live event, the Paradigm, as well as Amy, are actually going to have us go around the map and collect a bunch of 0 point fragments in order to restore the 0 points energy. Here's where things get interesting. You know how Amy was actually built by the scientist to be his assistant, and has essentially been one of the main characters here in Chapter 3, appearing in literally every single season. And you know how at the beginning of the Season 4 trailer, we saw the scientist be consumed by the chrome? Well, it came out that he won't actually be coming back like we all thought he would. And in Chapter 4, will likely be replaced with Amy, this time as an actual skin that you can see on your screen right now. But most importantly, after we collect the 0 fragments, like Amy and the Paradigm instructed us, the Zero Fusion will begin, and we'll actually see old parts of different islands start returning. You probably remember one of those locations will actually be the Durburger.
A new part of the island has arrived. We've got Durburger, people.
Well, check this out. Leakers have actually got access to another island that will be arriving that appears to contain the Winterfest cabin. Now, on the top of this chunk of island, you're able to see a balloon. You're able to see basically the same thing already on the Season 4 island, because apparently the Islanders decided that the Winterfest cabin was important enough to save. Don't forget, Epic Games like to tease stuff coming up in the upcoming season during the live event, like we saw during the Collision event, where we literally saw Darth Vader as a Tier 100 skin. So seeing the Winterfest cabin during the live event essentially confirms that we're gonna have another Winterfest event this year, where we get to open up 14 presents. But now, it's finally time to reveal Fortnite Chapter 4, and believe it or not, it actually all starts off with the Lonely Henchman, as well as the Trespasser, that have been wandering around the Fortnite map, spawning in different locations every single game, ever since Fortnite Chapter 3 released, and we all just assumed this was a nice little Easter egg added by Epic Games, with no real correlation at all to the future of Fortnite. But we were wrong, because every time you see the Lonely Henchman, at least one of them is using a telescope looking up at the sky, almost like they're able to see something approaching the Fortnite island. Now, at first, we all just assumed that this was the Lonely Henchman doing some random emotes. They'll actually be involved in the live event, as you can see from these leaked gameplay files, meaning they weren't just doing a random emote and they were actually looking for something. And I'm pretty sure we figured it out, so I'm sure we've all seen the recent teasers that Epic Games have been posting. I think we've gotten about 4 or 5 different ones at this point, and basically they're all the same thing, with the exception of one single change. You're able to notice some stars in the background of every single teaser. With each additional teaser that gets released, the stars appear to get bigger and bigger, or closer and closer. And at first, I just assumed this was a coincidence, since after all, we already have stars on the Fortnite island, so it's not that weird to see stars in the teasers. But then, the live event assets leaked, and inside of them, you're actually able to see a bunch of assets codenamed Stargazer, which makes it sound like we'll be gazing up at this mysterious star as it gets closer and closer, almost exactly like the Lonely Henchmen have for the entirety of Chapter 3. But get this, you remember those leaked live event concept drawings that I showed you in the last video? You're able to see the 0 point opening up a bunch of different portals, and in the background of this concept drawing, you were also able to see a bunch of crazy stars like we're in outer space. Well, that area depicted in the drawings is likely the stars we're able to see in the teasers, where we'll be transported to after our reality ends for good. We'll also get to see a bunch of different reality portals open up to begin Zero Fusion. And here's where things get crazy. So just like we have concept drawings for the upcoming live event, we also received some concept drawings for the brand new Chapter 4 map as well. And the reason we know this is for the Chapter 4 map is over a year ago, on August 19th, 2021, new POIs that were in very early development actually leaked and came out early. And right now, you can see the very first concept drawing. This one actually appears to be some form of hydropower station, which matches up perfectly with the leaked POIs we just discussed. The next image is one of my favorites, where you're able to see how the map is fractured in a bunch of different areas, and you're even able to see something that looks like a volcano as well, exactly like we saw on the leaked concept images of the original Chapter 3 map before that release. And then our final leaked image is right here on your screen, where it almost appears to be a base or a camp of some form. However, in the background, you're actually able to notice a crashed airplane, the exact same airplane that actually crash landed and brought us to the original Chapter 2 island. And then we also have one more image, which actually appears to have a point of interest kind of similar to Coral Castle. Which I don't know about you guys, man, but I personally don't want to see that point of interest in Fortnite ever again. With more and more leaks coming out about Chapter 4 literally every single hour, I'm going to be tweeting them all out on my Twitter account at HomieGamesYT. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you have an absolutely fantastic day. I'll see you guys on Saturday for the live event live stream. Peace out.